Hello, party people. This is Jason from Jason C's band coming at you with audio blog number 3. God, I'm just really not party people anymore. I want to be. Sometimes me and my girlfriend, it's like Friday night, and we're like, let's go do something. What are we going to do? Let's go out tonight. And then we're like, oh, well, we're too grown up to drink and drive, so now we got to get an Uber. And you just go, and then the next morning, if you have too many drinks, you don't feel good, and it ruins your weekend. And then we end up just like not, because it's just like not all it's cracked up to be, I think. So for all you that are still party people, good on you. I'm proud of you. I think that's a worthy endeavor, but I just can't do it anymore. I try to not be a total introverted curmudgeon, which is kind of what this podcast or this audio blog is all about. Basically, the concept here, I pick a song, I play it just in my studio with one mic, no special effects and verbs and synthesizers and stuff to make it sound cool. So if it ain't perfect, it is what it is. And that's something that I kind of am digging right now, that the performances just kind of are what they are. In past audio blogs, I've played things in the wrong key by accident and stuff, and I just let them be, which is something that I never would have done in the past. So kind of excited about that. I'm kind of excited about this audio blog thing. It's given me an opportunity to tell some of my stories, where I came from, what inspires me in different ways, and you know, how I come up with some of these songs. And it really is something that people ask me frequently, I think, as a song. If you're into the songwriter genre of music, which I'm always trying to press out of, in all honesty. It's not that I don't like the songwriter genre of music. My favorite artist in the whole world is a guy named Bob Schneider. If you haven't heard of him, look him up. He's from Austin, Texas. He's kind of the golden child of Austin, Texas down there. I mean, I'm sure there's bigger artists that have come out, but Bob is sort of a staple down there. And he really helped create that scene down there, I think. He was one of the pioneers of sort of the Austin thing. But anyways, my favorite artist is like a quintessential singer-songwriter. I mean, this guy just, if you love songwriting and that kind of music, he's a real genius, and I love him. So anyways, I love singer-songwriter music, but I'm always trying to push out of the singer-songwriter genre. And I don't know why. I think just because it gets a little cliche sometimes, you know, like, oh, here's another guy, mopey guy in rainy Seattle with an acoustic guitar. So I think that's part of it. I think part of it is like your live shows. Your live shows can be, let's just be honest, like live shows that have more energy can be way more fun, or probably are more fun. And I really have always wanted to add more and more energy to our live shows. So that's another reason. I'm just always trying to push out of the singer-songwriter genre. But at my core, I know what I am. I know I'm a songwriter, a troubadour. How do you say it? I don't know how you say it. But anyways, to get back to, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, why I'm doing this? And why I'm doing this. So I was telling the stories of the songs, where they came from. Oh, I know. I was saying people are always asking me where my songs can't come from, and I think the reason is because, there's a couple of reasons. One, if you're into singer-songwriter music, I think that means you're lyrically oriented, like you're into the stories of songs and stuff like that, and what they're saying, and maybe identifying with them and stuff. So there's definitely those kind of listeners, and I tell stories, and my writing style is I'm sort of regurgitating what I'm seeing and thinking and feeling and visualize, and what I'm seeing around the world and stuff. And then, but there's other kinds of listeners too. Like I remember one of my really good friends one time was like, lyrics don't matter. It's what matters in music is like, and this makes sense because he's a drummer, and drummers are like this. this is how drummers listen to music. But he was like, what really matters is the beat and the bass line and the melody line and stuff. And he's not wrong by any means, but I looked at him like, are you fucking crazy? Like, because especially at the time, I was like, it's the songwriting is the most important thing in the world. So if you're into the singer-songwriter genre, I understand why you are curious about what my songs are about or mean or something. And also, I think my backstory pulls some people in. People in my profession, if you don't know, like I was a military pilot, and now I'm a commercial pilot. And so I think like in general, pilots tend to be sort of linear thinkers. They tend to be right brain, left or right, whichever one is the not creative side. I don't remember. They tend to be that brained. And I'm not saying I'm not one of those people. I certainly am, and I try to be as a pilot. Because the thing about being a pilot is the safest way to do things is to do things the same exact way every time. So like the best pilots out there are the guys that like shave their face the exact same way every single time. And that sounds boring, and maybe that makes some boring people. I don't know, but it's that ability to stick to a habit pattern that makes aviation safe. But that doesn't tend to lend itself to like the creative type of person who's sort of free flowing and goes with the flow and sort of I don't know how else to explain it, like a little less type A and a little bit of a linear thinker. So I try to separate the two. I try to be a creative person, and I try to be easygoing, but at the same time, professionally, when I go to work, I try to be very deliberate and very linear and very habit pattern oriented, because that's what aviation is all about. So maybe my two halves of my brain connect with some kind of a bridge. I don't know what allows me to do both. But anyways, the point is my backstory and who I am is a little bit different than sort of the cliche, I think, songwriter in Seattle. So maybe that draws some people in. They want to know where stuff comes from. I don't know. But the point is, people ask me about this stuff kind of often. It's not something I'm always super stoked to talk about for various reasons. And I don't know why. I'm not super stoked to talk about it. But this seems to be working. I seem to be able to talk about the stories and stuff this way. And I think it's kind of healthy for me to get this out there like that. So I'm enjoying doing it. I hope you guys are listening. If you are, I just want to encourage you, please go on to whatever platform you listen to music and check out one of our songs. We really don't try to monetize our music. This is something we do if 0 people were listening or 1 million people were listening, and I know that's cliche, but it's true. At the end of the day, on Wednesday nights, my band loves to go down in the basement and jam together and play music together and create together. And we record it and we put it out there, but even if we weren't doing that, we'd still be doing the same thing on Wednesday nights. So we really want people to listen to our music. So if you would just check it out, go to Spotify or iTunes, maybe like our Facebook page, whatever. We really appreciate that stuff. So to move along here, I think I've been rambling. The song I chose today is a song called Grizzly Bear. It's off the Grizzly Bear EP. It's the title track off that EP. I think that EP came out in 2017, 17, something like that. It's a little bit of a downer song, but I'll try not to get too down on it. But basically, we've actually redone this song twice. So initially on Grizzly Bear EP, I recorded it and put it on the album as just an acoustic track, and it's going to be something like what I'm going to play now. But then the band piled onto it on the Robot Dance EP, and this song came out really great on the Robot Dance EP. There's a lot of layers and a lot of magic and a lot of fun things going on there. I'm really proud of how that song worked out. So I highly recommend you check out the full band version, which is on Robot Dance EP, which just came out on 3/23. In the backstory of the song, I'll get into it a little deeper after I play it, but it's just it's a little dark, but I think at the end it's kind of a lesson song for everybody, and I love it. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written, I think. So So here it is. This is Grizzly Bear from Grizzly Bear EP and from Robot Dance EP. I'm just coming up for a breath of fresh air. Then I'll head back down where I belong. I've already tangled with a big grizzly bear, so I'll head back down where I belong. I'm quite fine floating in the darkest sea. I find I'm right where I belong. When everyone wants to take the skin off your knees, it's just more ammo for a song. You've seen the things I've seen. You will go where I've gone, and you'll know that things are not what they seem. The light ain't crystal clean, and there ain't no crow that flies in a straight line. But here there ain't no time down below, down below. You can fall in line, complete conviction in time, and talk yourself into being fine. Life don't walk no line, ain't something that's confined. There ain't no faith in time. I don't care where you go, I don't care where you've been, 'cause you can't deny what you can see in the sky, on the land, or in me. Don't matter what you say, don't matter what you pray, the grizzly bear's right there, he'll take it all away. Take it all away. Okay, so that was Grizzly Bear. It is a song from the Grizzly Bear EP, and then also a song from Robot Dance EP, where it is recorded with the full band. So that song, I'll try to do this without. So people who know me, or if you don't know me, like my best friend and my wife, we battled cancerous disease. She was diagnosed in 2012. She passed away in 2014, and so the song was really kind of written looking at that whole process, like in hindsight, and more like looking at the grieving process in hindsight. And the thing about about grieving or about loss or even like depression. I don't know. It's about all kinds of stuff. Like a lot of times people don't understand, if you're not in the middle of it, like how dark the darkness can be. Like literally it's so dark that you can't even imagine there being light at the end of the tunnel, if that makes sense metaphorically or whatever. So, I mean, I used to explain it to people like that, like the darkness is so dark. It's like, insurmountable, And I know people out there that everyone's gonna lose someone. That's part of living. But I think that I don't really suffer from depression myself. At least I don't think I do. But I know people have explained something similar to me that struggle with bipolar or depression or whatever. So everyone's going to go through stuff like this, or you're going to know someone who goes through hard times. And it's just really sort of a song about like the inevitability of the fact that you have to go through it. Like you just have to go through the process. There is no shortcuts. And the reality is, I think if you do take shortcuts out, you end up doing more long-term damage to yourself and your life. But there's no real shortcuts to do it to get out of the darkness. You just got to plod through it. Like you have to plod through the darkness and hope and hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so it's just kind of about that process and also about just like observing. When I was grieving the loss of my wife, it's kind of about just observing like the people around you too, like how they were handling it and how they were trying to support you. And I don't know, I guess there's no like answers to this shit. It's just part of being a human being. But it was just sort of a song about how I was processing that and how I was watching what the decisions, what people around me were making. And if you are in that situation, or you're supporting someone that lost someone or something like that, all I can say is, like, there's no right answers. Like, you don't have the answer for that person. It just is what it is, and that person's going to have to go through their process. And that's kind of why, I said, life don't walk no line. It's not something that confines. There's no truth in time. Like there's no linear process through this that is like the right way to do it. You just got to do it. It's just part of life and part of growing up and part of being a grown up. So, the whole song's just kind of about that and about, I don't know, maybe the way humans like struggle to be humble about, when other people are going through loss or depression or whatever. Like other human beings are like, you just need to snap out of it. Like, I heard that a lot. Like, you just need to snap out of it, And it's like, that's not only is that not, like, helpful, but it's just not the way it works. And if you think that's the way it works, then, like, you haven't been there yet. But you will, So, it's just kind of a song about that. I know that was a little dark, and it's not where I wanted to take this audio blog thing. I don't know how to totally, like, avoid some of that stuff, because some of my songs are about that stuff, because it's part of my life. But either way, that's Grizzly Bear. I love that song. I hope you liked it too. Thanks for listening to this audio blog. If you did, I guess if you're here, you are. If you feel inclined, we'd love it if you went on to one of the music platforms out there and checked out our new EP, Robot Dance EP. It's the block of songs that I'm the most proud of. We did it all in-house. I love it. I got super into synthesizers for that EP, so there's a lot of fun bloops and bleeps and swirls and stuff. So I thought it was a real advancement in my songwriting, and it's a real kind of turn the corner kind of album for me personally. So if you feel inclined to do so, please go out there, check out Robot Dance EP. Maybe go on one of the social media sites if you're logging into Facebook anyways, and just like Jason C's music or the Jason C's Band Facebook page or our Instagram or Twitter or whatever you do. And if not, that's okay too. Like I said, we're super stoked on just playing music and creating music and pulling songs up out of the ether and grabbing them and turning them into a tangible thing out here in reality. So Thanks again for listening. This was Audio Blog number 4, number 5. I can't remember now, but this is fun. It's good for me. I like it. I hope you like it too. I hope it's a way that we can promote our music, and it's a little bit of interesting content to put out there. And until next time, and I do plan on doing more of these. I think this is good, and it's pretty easy to produce, and it's something I can do in between albums to keep people engaged. So until next time, thanks for listening. Take it easy, and I'll catch you later.